Alright, so I've had a lot of people ask how I learned nalbinding, so I'm going to walk you through how I learned and also what you need to get started on the dalby stitch, which is one of the most common stitches used in nalbinding. All you really need is a needle. I have a variety of needles that I like to use. There's one that I carved myself out of bone antler, a metal one that is an embroidery needle, and then this one that my wife made for me out of an old toothbrush. This is good for big fabrics, which is what I'm demonstrating on. This is t-shirt yarn that I had stretched out. So to begin, you thread your needle, and then you make a loop with the short end on top, like this. Then you pull your needle under, over, and then under, like so. And that's going to form a pretzel shape, like this. And you kind of want to have it looking like a Venn diagram because you're going to go through that center interlocked area. Because this is going to create the 3 circles you need that you're going to be building each dalby stitch into. Okay, so we're going to go through another time, and it's under, over, that takes you halfway through into that second area, then under and over brings you back out the other side. And that's also how you're going to read a lot of nomenclature, because when they say how to do a stitch, they're just going to show you a string of the stitches and then give you a list of U-O-U-O-U dash O-U-O-O or something like that. And that's over, under, over, under, over, over. And that's all they're going to show you. So you really have to pick it apart or find someone that knows how to do it. So we've got our 3 loops here, and I know this is messed up, but I learned, and once it's buried in 1,000 other stitches, no one's going to notice how badly you started. Then it's, for the dalby stitch, you go under, over, under, and that takes you 3 loops in. That's one of the simpler stitches. You find some that go all the way up to 8 or 9 loops, and that just freaks me out to see how complex some of the stuff gets. So under, over, under takes you to the center, and then over, under, over, over takes you all the way through, and that is one single dalby stitch. Let me show you again, now that I've got it pretty well made into a little bit of fabric that's going to stay put. Until you get those 3 circles in, it's going to be really shifty and you want to keep your hands on it. But after you can get the 3 circles and a few good stitches, it'll stay in place and you can just do whatever you want with it, and it's not going to unravel like a crocheting or a knitting project. Okay, so under, over, under, there's our halfway point. You can pull through if you so desire. And then, so we're halfway through the stitch, then it's over that center loop, then under, over, and then over again. Takes you all the way through. The only thing you really have to keep in mind with nalbinding is keeping your tension right, which is one of the reasons I like my antler needle that I made. The back end is a lot thicker than the front end, so I can get my needle through, and as long as I can fit it through comfortably, then that's about the size of the stitch I want, keeping things consistent. Okay, then you just keep going in that route, put on a season of your favorite TV show on Netflix, and pretty soon you will have the coolest thing I've ever found as far as turning thread into a usable fabric. And the socks I made from it, which I posted on Imager, and I can send you a link to that one in the bottom, are probably the warmest and thickest socks I own. It's going to be great when I have to work outside in the winter. So that is a basic of nalbinding and how to do the dalby stitch. Right?